Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here. What I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today. The title is Right Thinkers. Let's talk about human existence and its purpose. The concept is you know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay, that's to get you started. This little tidbit. Let's get this party started. Rightisms. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and yeah, I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. So my job is to come here and get you information you need to do just that. Know thyself. Tune in, get the lessons, and that's what happened. Let's go. That's what I do for you. A person who knows, let me ask you a question, excuse me. Do you know you? It's a rhetorical question, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, it's okay. Tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you know you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my be true. Woo-wee. Let's get with the human existence and its purpose. First of all, let me tell you this. Your goal in life is not to amass amounts of wisdom, teachings, but to discover their true meaning and to what? Apply them where? To your ordinary life to what? Rise above it and like the lotus flower, I tell you, above the muddy waters, if you're from the ghetto, to go above that and what? Without retaining a single drop of dirty water on their petals. When the lotus flower opens up when the sun rises, it just opens up pure white, untouched by the muck and the mire that it grows in, stink and funky odor that it has. It grows pure. That's the concept. That's why you see a lot of lotus flowers throughout the Egyptian concept. They had that idea. Now, if this does not occur, then one is not what? Practicing right thinking philosophy or any religion or yoga, but something else. And some of us make up our own stuff and make the magic go and do what they want. So that's what they're talking about. But if your initiation is therefore the process of coming into a philosophy, which is a way of life. I keep telling you, right thinking is a way of life, which what? Allow you to become free, what? Free of any restrictions, any impediments to your happiness, meaning there's nothing in the way of you becoming happy with yourself. It's also a process of what? Discovering how to end what? Pain and suffering in one's life. Become enlightened, get knowledge and understanding, live right, do right, and you're in that cycle of what? Reincarnation. And once you get knowledge of self, ding, 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 that's the ticket to go home. That's how you stop this. And thus what happens? It is a process of becoming established in what? Your own inner support and inner peace without depending on the outside world. Everything is going to be good and happiness happens from the inside, not from this. That's the main part, right? Things I need you to understand. Now, what is the human existence and what is its purpose? Okay? Human life is a purpose. We're spiritual beings having human existence. What is our purpose? There we go. Now let's get to it. Human life is a purpose in which what? All human beings experience various situations ranging from what? From pain and suffering to happiness and pleasure. The roller coaster, that's it. And between the time, what? Span of what? From the time you're born to the time you die. Now, from a yoga point of view, all human situations are what? Are painful. Why? Because they are distractions from the true source of what? Bliss and abiding happiness within what? One's heart. Attachment to what? Worldly objects and relationships outside of oneself seems like the normal course of human life. We all do it. But the masses of people what? Adopt this method, this mode of what? Existence out of, you ready? Ignorance. Ignorance is what? Ignorance is their deeper self. What? If they had knowledge of their deeper self within, what happened? There would be no need to seek personal fulfillment throughout the world through worldly achievements and having worldly possessions or worldly relationships. All of those things are transcendental. They're going to pass. They're not going to be substantial, and it won't make you happy. Okay? And most of us have this what? This endless search that leads what? Every ignorant human being to what? Engage in what? Various situations and constant entanglements. I call them fetters. Why? You cause them on your own. You cause yourself these problems. Watch this. Now, which is what? The beginning seemed to hold, in the beginning, seemed to hold the possibility of what? Bringing about happiness or happy circumstances. I mean, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna feel better, I'm gonna be happy. I get the house, I'm gonna be happy. I get the girl I want, I'm gonna be happy. No. But what's this? But with it invariably leads to what? Ready? Pain, suffering, and more frustration. Why? Because you're doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Do something different, and you will get a different result in life. Watch this, a mature human being, right thinker, what? Discovers that ordinary human life cannot satisfy the inner need of the soul. Why? Because it is unpredictable in transit. Again, through the ignorance, you just think you want it. You just want no, you're not really, thinking right. Hello, good segue. So what happens? So what should one live for? Ding, 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 ding. Spiritual enlightenment. To know thyself. Let's see what they say. So what one should live for? Did not the ancient Egyptians build wondrous monuments and innovations of what? In science, medicine, government, social order, etc.? Did we not do that? They did not withdraw from the world, but they did not seek spiritual fulfillment through world either. I mean, they knew the world wasn't going to make them happy. Things in the world wasn't going to make them. They knew that as a people. And watch this. This is the first key to what? Understanding our ancient Egyptian culture and their spiritual philosophy. I tell you, it ain't about monetary things for me. It ain't about the money. Understand that. It's about the feeling of gratitude and thankfulness from within, from doing a selfless service and helping somebody else out to better themselves. I get a kick out of that. Moving on. You do not have to turn on the TV, I don't watch it anyway, or read the newspaper, don't do that either, to see what? The miserable condition of most people. It's everywhere. It ain't hard to see, okay? But think about your own life. That's the first thing I think is start with you. Never mind what they're doing over there. Never mind what they ain't doing over there. Start with you. Like Mike said, the man in the mirror. Watch this. And has there been any situation, watch this, where happiness was abiding? Not a one. Why? Have you ever experienced any relationship with someone who never disappointed you or curse caused you pain? Not a one. Has there been any possessions you acquired which did not lose its power as lust to bring you happiness, or that you did not become bored with? Not a thing. Even though it made you happy, what, to possess it in the beginning, and that's what it is, but after a while, again, it loses something. When you become blissed out, when you become spiritually enlightened, it ain't gonna leave. That's the point. Even those, watch this, even those people who say what? They happy with life as it is, or what? They're deluding and lying to themselves and believing what? That they happy, what? For moments. Balance the painful ones out. Meaning I have more good than bad. That's still ain't happiness. Okay? This is not true happiness. Even the happy moments are setting you up for what? For just more painful disappointment and frustrations in the future. Why? Because all worldly situations and things and relationships will what? Come to an end. That's why. Thus, by living in accordance with what? The ignorant philosophy of what? Of life, your happy moments cause what? Longing for what? More happy moments. And what that means. And when these are not possible, as Scooby said, what roll? There is disappointment. And again, frustration, they go together. The longing and the frustration does not end. Watch this. At the end of death. Why? Because when the body dies, the mind still continues to hold the deep-rooted desires that the body left behind for worldly fulfillment, and this what causes the soul to what? To be impelled toward what? Countless new lifetimes, aka incarnation or karmic entanglements in what? In search of worldly fulfillment. All of this occurs out of ignorance of one's true self. This is why knowing thyself, it takes away all this nonsense. That's my job, my mission, to get you to get that so you won't have these problems. See where I'm going with this? Okay, let me wrap it up for you right quick. This should be too long. Now, the visible world, which is the physical world, the human existence, is ephemeral. But you know that the spiritual world, aka the afterlife, is what? Forever. So you gain strength from what? This, since nothing physical can destroy you. I ask the question, if you know you can't die, will you be scared to death? All of those who are ignorant of themselves, they're scared to death. Why? They don't know they can't die. That's obvious. Why? They're scared. Labor not after riches first. Again, I don't do this for the money. And watch this. Think thou afterwards will what? Enjoy them. If it's good and prosperous, prosperous means it's going to pay off. If it's good, it's prosperous, that means you get paid. Don't worry about it. But he who neglects the present moment throws away all that he has. As the arrow passes through the heart, while what? While you the warrior knew not it was coming, so shall his life be taken away before what? He knoweth that he have it. If you're ignorant of yourself, you're going to die and you're going to come back again. Why? Because you don't know yourself. The spirit can't go home. It got to reincarnate. That's why. There is no happiness where? For the soul in what? The external world. This physical world cannot bring you happiness, since what? These are perishable. True happiness lies in what? In that which is eternal within us. Ancient proverb from the Stela of Abu, it says, be chief of the mysteries at festivals, meaning knowing what's going on, know your mouth, come in Hotep, which is peace, and what? While the spiritual beings come into human form, enjoy life on earth. Watch this. But please do not become too attached to it. Why? It's transitory, meaning it's temporary. It's not going to be forever, so don't get attached to it. It won't be around long. But now watch this quick lesson. Becoming free from the clutches of ignorance, meaning gaining knowledge, enlightenment, is not as simple as what learning about its cause. Why? Even if you are honest and true believer in the philosophy of yoga and the mystical spirituality, all of your mental efforts to negate the ignorance will fail in the beginning. Why? Because your mind has spent many hours over a period of days, months, years, and some type of lifetimes, and even eons, when Christ said, "Hey, be with you through all of that," believing in what? The illusion of the human life. Even if you were to understand that it is your worldly attachments which are what causing you mental agitation and suffering, the process of obtaining spiritual enlightenment, aka knowledge of self, is not as simple as saying, okay, since my possessions are distracting me and causing me my agitation and worry, I will give them all up and have peace. Bad decision. Even if you were to find yourself without possessions, that's how. Not good. Your mind would what? Now be grieving over what? Your loss. Or it'd be preoccupied with what? How to regain them or how to what? Survive without them. So everything will change. Trust me. Circumstances and situations will change. Wrapping it up. If you have developed enough spiritual sensitivity, aka knowledge, to understand that there is no abiding peace or happiness to be found in the ordinary human existence or the world. Why? You are qualified to study the deeper mysteries of spiritual life. This is the process of what? Initiation, which leads all right thinkers. You come in from what? Ignorant. You come in as a right thinker, you're ignorant, and I'm bringing you to what? Spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself or self-discovery, as they like to call it. It is the process by which all human beings living in the ordinary life was taught what? How to lead now an extraordinary life with knowledge of self and to maintain what? To obtain, you ready? Superhuman expanded enlightenment, aka consciousness. Where is there any inexhaustible source of bliss and happiness, which what? Which does not depend, again, your internal happiness does not depend on external factors, things of the outer world, where it is possible to what? Find an unending peace and tranquility and a joy which is not again subject to external conditions of either prosperity or adversity, meaning good or bad, don't make a difference. The initiatic process shows you the way. Right, thinkers? I'm trying to do just that. Show you the way. To where? To the next level, which we're going to go to. I'm going to stop the lesson, but I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to get a few definitions in for you. Watch this. So, which is the way? In order for the teachings of mystical spirituality, right in the philosophy, to come true in your life, what must happen? You must make them what? The central force of your life. Live it, breathe it, eat it, sleep it, become it. That's what right thinkers should do. And what happened? You must center your life around that and what? Infuse it into your everyday life. Again, you practice Maya by living it. You practice right thinking philosophy by living it. In this way, what? You will become transformed into what? The idea of what the teachings describe, aka becoming an enlightened human being. By knowing thyself and practices righteous and virtuous living, it is not possible what? To gain higher spiritual understanding of the right thing and practices if what? If any other way except to live them ain't happening. Thus, initiation is a way of life. Again, right thinking is a way of life and not just a single event. Like church, we go to church every Sunday. That's an event. Live, you learn in church and bring it with you on Sunday, but live it to the rest of the week. That's what my church family do. I respect them for that. And watch this. They get it. It is what? A continuous process. A lot of people leave church and go on and wild out. If you're a good Christian, you leave church and go on and live your life again, respect and doing the things you're supposed to do and earn your blessings. And what happens? It leads to what? Greater and greater awareness and expansion, accumulating in what? The highest level of self-knowledge, which is what? Stage 3 in religious, mystical experience, spiritual awakening, reaching Nihas, becoming Christ-like, anointed. All those things will happen when you gain knowledge of self. Now, let me give you a few definitions. Before proceeding with the main body of this work, is to break down definitions. It would be helpful to what? Establish some working definition. Some people hear the word, they think one thing, you think of something else, so y'all on the same page. So I'm going to give you some words, and when you think they mean, I'm going to break them down, see if you're on point with them. Okay? That's the next lesson. That's what I'm going to right here. So, watch this. And then, help this body of work, it would be helpful to establish some working definitions for the disciplines which will what? Will be discussed in order to provide a common basis of understanding for the journey in which we will undertake. These terms will be further defined and explored throughout the course of this work. Okay, these are words we're going to use. I'm going to give you the definition so when we hear them again, we'll know what they mean. So we won't have no misunderstanding or misinterpretation. The first word is philosophy. The definition of philosophy, it has been defined as what? A speculative inquiry concerning the source and the nature of what? Human knowledge and a system of ideas based on such thinking. In this work, the idea of philosophy will be confined to what? The modes of thinking employed for the purpose of transforming your human mind and leading it to what? Achieve transpersonal state of what? Consciousness. Gaining knowledge and insight of yourself so you can be a better you. Now, in its original sense, philosophy is a mental discipline for leading a person to what? Enlightenment. In modern times, this lofty notion of philosophy has come to be regarded as unscientific speculation or even as an opinion or a belief of one person or group versus another. Really? Okay, again, see the concept? Specifically, we look at the Hermeticism as a philosophy, philosophy as a philosophical transformation. You have to have a philosophy that will transform you mentally. Information enlighten you to get you to be a better. But remember this, never forget the words are not the reality. No, only reality is reality. Pictures, symbols are the ideas. Words are confusing. So they can say a picture worth 1,000 words. Words we can, get confused. Like he just said, the words are confusing. But let's talk about the self. What's self? That's the ultimate reality. It is known through study of what? The scriptures. It is not known through study of scripture. I guess that ain't right. Nor through what? Subtlety of the intellect, nor through much learning. Well, how the hell you get it? Good question. But by him or her who longs for it, is it known to them? Him or her. That means if you in search, do your due diligence and you will reach it. One caveat, which any true philosophy must follow, is what? Is the understanding that what? Words in themselves cannot capture ultimate essence of reality. Simple. Why? Words can be a trap to the highly developed intellect. Therefore, we must always keep in mind what? That words and philosophical discourse can only point the way to the truth. Okay? You have to live it or experience the truth. In order to discover the truth, what you got to do? We must go beyond all words, all thoughts, and all of our mental concepts and philosophies. Why? Because the truth, as Hermetic and Vedanta philosophy would tell you, can only be experienced. Ding, 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 ding. That's my point. It cannot be encapsulated in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You have to experience it for yourself. Hence, know thyself. That's your experience. And moving on to the next one. The study of philosophy in its highest form is to assist who? The student in what? Understanding his or her own mind. Remember, knowing thyself, knowing who you are, in order to be able to transcend it and thus experience again the what? The transcendental reality which lies beyond words, thoughts, concepts, mental notions, mental conceptions are based on our own what? Worldly experience. As spiritual beings, we come here, we incarnate in the physical form to learn a life lesson as human beings. That lesson, I told you, ain't to be gather up a whole bunch of knowledge to become smart and to no, ain't to run up a whole bunch of records in the sports and become the GOAT and all that. No, it's to know thyself. Simple. I'll make it real easy for you. Where I'm at. I'm almost done. Okay. So they help us to what? Understand what? The world as the senses perceive it. The five senses, the only way the brain get information through the physical body is the five senses. So, however, okay, clinging to these experiences as the only reality, that's ignorance. Watch this. This precludes our discovery of what? Other forms of reality or existence, which what? Lies beyond the capacity of what? Your five senses. You have to go beyond that. A dog's olfactory senses, okay, and the vision of a hawk are much superior to that of a human being. So every animal has a gift. Our gift is to be thinking, conceptualizing, and become conscious of who we really are. Almost home. One more. However, yeah, this is it. However, the human has one advantage. What's that? Which is superior to all senses and scientific instruments. Okay, get to it. The intuitional mind, when it is purified, an enlightened mind, by the practice of right thinking philosophy, yoga, disciplines, ancient mystical philosophical systems have what? Have their main goal the destruction of what? The limited concepts, ignorance, and illusions of the mind. You have to enlighten the mind with the truth. So in essence, the philosophies related to understanding nature and the human being, while we come down here in the physical form, places in it where what? The first disciplines which practice what would today be called transpersonal psychology. That is what? A system of psychological concepts which assist us in what? In going beyond the personal or the ego-based aspect. I knew the ego's in there sooner or later. We got to get it out. When you go past the ego-based aspects of what? Your psyche, in order to what? Discover what lies where? Beyond the transpersonal relationship of the personality. You have to raise your consciousness, know thyself, and master all aspects of your personality. That's what we call the God and Goddesses. Okay, this is the end of this lesson. I got more for you, but right now In closing, right things, as we said, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right things like you have passed away. I'll be back.